Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Ahsoka making her cameo in The Mandalorian as a potential tryout for her own Disney Plus series. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding Star Wars Coffee for the first time, be sure to always hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to check out Star Wars Coffee on Twitter and Twitch, and don't forget to check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. Links are in the description below.
Do it.
And now let's go to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the way.
Ahsoka Tano finishing up her iconic character debut finally after 7 seasons of The Clone Wars, even though it was postponed for a couple of years, as finally wrapping up her story arc for The Clone Wars, which will be continued in Star Wars Rebels, and that series has concluded, and a potential sequel series to Rebels is already in the works. I've got a playlist on that on the channel if you guys want to check that out. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with Ahsoka and are more live-action Star Wars fans, Ahsoka Tano was the Padawan learner to Anakin Skywalker and a hero of the Clone Wars. Alongside Anakin, she grew up from headstrong student into a mature leader, but her destiny laid a different path than the Jedi. That, of course, comes to us from the StarWars.com databank, and what we're going to be taking a look at today is Deadline confirming Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano and The Mandalorian could be a test run for her own series via Star Wars Newsnet. Deadline has confirmed Slash Films report from 2 days ago that Rosario Dawson, who is been in Luke Cage and I believe more of those Marvel Defenders type of shows. I know she was in Daredevil, will play Ahsoka in Season 2 of The Mandalorian when it arrives on Disney Plus in the fall. The news has yet to be officially confirmed by Lucasfilm, of course, as Lucasfilm, they're always very great at not confirming things until last minute just to continue to stir up buzz. And the initial rumors claimed that they were treating this reveal as top secret, as this would have been as exciting as a reveal of Baby Yoda in the first episode of Season 1. Pausing from that for a second, it does make a lot of sense that this would be the case, as Baby Yoda completely stunned everyone, and it made The Mandalorian the #1 pirated show for those who didn't have Disney Plus, and it soared Disney Plus's subscriber count to 23 million in its first week or something like that, something crazy like that. And so it would only make sense that Jon Favreau would want to try a repeat of that with Season 2 and bringing in Ahsoka, who is an iconic fan favorite classic to those who are deep into the Star Wars lore and the Star Wars community who love all of the series, and especially knowing that Filoni is involved with this would have made a lot more sense for it to be top secret as well, given that this would have been his next type of thing that he's going to be doing since the Clone Wars is finishing up and since that Rebel sequel show hasn't launched yet. Rosario Dawson had mentioned years ago that she would be interested in playing the fan favorite, so it's interesting to see her land the role after so much time has passed. It should also be noted that Dave Filoni, wonder where we just heard that, I was just talking about that, who co-created the character of Ahsoka Tano with George Lucas on The Clone Wars, is a writer and director and executive producer on The Mandalorian, and will presumably have been a part of the casting process himself. Deadline also states that Ahsoka will not be a series regular on The Mandalorian. This is not surprising at all. So what I expected this to be is a cameo. Really? So I'm thinking, while Gina Carano's Cara Dune is technically considered a main character, she's only in several episodes, 4 of the 8 episodes or something like that. And so I would assume Ahsoka wouldn't be in more than 1 or 2 episodes of whatever current story arc that they're going to be going on. They're probably just going to encounter her, get some information on the Darksaber, and probably move on. And that would just be kind of like her test run, her tryout to introduce herself to fans so that they could give herself their own Disney Plus series. Because regardless of whether the live action fans know Ahsoka or not, she is popular enough to get her own live action series based on the following of the Clone Wars and Rebels and all of that. So either way, I think this is just more of an introduction to her as a live action, to those live action fans. The Hollywood Reporter are also wondering if the character's appearance will serve as a backdoor pilot for a live-action Disney Plus show centered around the former Jedi. They write, "True news, Rosario Dawson is joining The Mandalorian as Jedi Ahsoka Tano. Slash Films' Peter Scrietta has the scoop, but there's this big question. Could this be a backdoor pilot for an Ahsoka series? There are rumors." Many fans had been hoping to see a continuation of Ahsoka's story from Star Wars Rebels, where she is about to begin a search for missing Jedi Ezra Bridger in the unknown regions with Mandalorian Sabine Wren. Fans assumed this story would be taking place as another animated series, but Rosario Dawson's casting opens up the possibility that this could be a live-action TV show instead. So what they're referring to right there is the Rebel sequel series that we were talking about. I do believe that that's going to be its own animated show. I believe that's going to be the next animated story, because if you've been kind of following the way Disney and Lucasfilm have been doing all of these things, they've had the Clone Wars, and then when that kind of went on pause, they put out Rebels, and then they started Resistance, and now that those are done, the Clone Wars is back. So if they want to continue the same type of pattern, they're going to bring in some type of other animated show. But, with Bob Iger, who has now stepped down as the Disney CEO, was pushing for all of these Star Wars live-action TV shows rather than theatrical releases, because they can take a lot more time on them, and it's kind of less of a risk in terms of their pockets. And that's why we're getting the Kenobi series and the Cassian Andor series, both of which have been pushed back, because when it's a TV series on your own streaming platform, you have the liberty to do that and not put anything out until you're ready. So that would be the main support for this Rosario Dawson Ahsoka Tano show being a live action show rather than the next animated show. So it could really go either way, but my money's on the fact that this Ahsoka live show would be something different, something more unexplored perhaps. But we'll see. This would open up numerous possibilities for live action depictions of animated characters, surely as Sabine, Ezra, and Thrawn. So if there was going to be a live action show, I think Thrawn would be the, main big bad in that show, to Ahsoka's good. So it would kind of be like a Luke Vader type of thing, but it would be Ahsoka Thrawn. So I think that would be pretty cool to get a live action treatment. It will be strange though not having Ashley Eckstein voice Ahsoka, who has been synonymous with the character for Star Wars fans for literally 12 years now at this point. That's crazy. I remember when the Clone Wars first came out. Have been hoping to see a live action Ahsoka for years, which I have been. I've always been kind of questioning on whether or not I would want Ashley Eckstein to dub whoever's voice did it, but I guess we'll have to see what that looks like coming this fall, so we'll just have to wait. That was written by Josh Atkins over at Star Wars Newsnet. Well done, sir. Great job. I think that the big problem with the Ahsoka live action series is just going to be how the character looks in live action, how the adaptation looks. Shakti was good, so if it's anything synonymous to that, it should be pretty good. I think everybody should be really excited for this Ahsoka teaser for The Mandalorian. I think we did get some type of announcement that we're getting our Mandalorian teasers. There's some rumblings that could be coming out sooner rather than later, given the quarantines and all that, to just give something people to get excited about. And we'll see what goes on. Of course, I'll update you guys with all of the Mandalorian news as I have been. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. I just started a Patreon, so if you guys want to go help support my work and help me make this my full-time job. I do have a day job. This is just a hobby. I got a full 40-hour. I got two jobs actually. Full 40-hour week job. Over on the Patreon, you're going to be seeing what I'm going to be doing is more deep dive into TV shows like The Mandalorian. We're going to do a really deep dive into each episode. Same with the Clone Wars, as there's not really such a huge interest for just a majority of fans for those type of animated shows and things like that. So for all of you daily coffee drinkers who really do support all of my work, and I know there are a few of you out there, and I seriously can't thank you enough and appreciate you enough, because without you guys, I'm not here. So just feel free to go check that out for me. That would be great. Thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving me over the last 3 years, and I hope we can continue to do that. Again, Ahsoka Tano, if you want to get the full announcement of that, we did do a video on that as well over on the channel. Launching, we went through I believe it was Deadline, Hollywood Reporter. Oh no, Slash Film. Slash Film did the big reveal on Ahsoka, and so we go through that. I give more of a detailed history of the character of Ahsoka for those of you guys who are just familiar with the live action stuff. So for all of you guys who are just familiar with the Rise of Skywalker sequel story, with the original trilogy, with the prequel trilogy, and with the anthology films, this will be something good for you guys to check out. So thank you guys for watching. Again, may God bless you and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.